Hi everybody, this is showing you how to pick up the stitches on your Samantha bag. This is the SV1 video, and I have made a small scale base, bag base. Yours is much bigger than this, and I'm going to show you how to pick up the stitches all the way around and begin working in the round. So far you've done your garter stitch, knitting every row of your rectangle base, and now I know that I'm working across the first long side as per the directions because my tail yarn is on the right hand side, which is right where it should be. So I'm going across the first long side, and I went partially across so you wouldn't have to be bored to death looking at me just knitting. And I've done a 20 stitch swatch, kind of. And what I want you to notice is once I get across the first long side, now is when I'm going to do the turning of the 90 degrees, like the direction. And if you can see, these garter stitch rows come together and form a ridge. Ridge 1, ridge 2, ridge 3, ridge 4, ridge 5, meaning, and I don't include the cast on row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning I'm going to be picking up 5 stitches on the side. You're going to be picking up more as per the directions, but I just wanted to give you a feel of it. What happens is the 2 rows come together, form that ridge, and you have to pull apart in between to see that vertical strand right there that you're going to pick up and knit to get the rest of the short side. So we've gone across the first long side. Now I'm going to pop a marker onto the needle, and here are my grand array of markers. I was really down to the pitiful end of my large markers, and so my one distinctly different marker, as you can see, is a little ninja man. I don't really like hanging markers, but this is what I had, but it's pretty funny and cute. Anyway, so I'm going to be picking up 5 stitches on the side, and the 5 stitches, as I said, are between the purl bump rows of the garter stitch rows coming together. So that's, I've popped on the marker, I go underneath and knit 1, spread apart the 2 bumps, go underneath. They're really not purl bumps, they're garter ridge bumps. 2, spread it apart, see that there's that vertical strand. 3 and 4. And can't really see the last one too much, but I know I do want it in between the last ridge and the cast on row. So I'm just going to find a place that's logical to go in, and that's my 5th. Now again, I'm popping a marker on here, and I know since I have 20 stitches on the top, as I said, you have different amount. You want the same amount of stitches that you're picking up from the bottom. It's a little trickier on that cast on row. What you have to do is you have to turn your work a little, besides the 90-degree turn, with now the second long side being the top of my work, which I'm going to pick up, original cast on row. You kind of have to turn the work so what you see is sort of the side of that ridge, and you can see there's a top and a bottom part that make up that ridge. There's an upper row of, I'm going to call them purl bumps, and a lower row of stitch bumps. We can call them stitch bumps. I stick with that top ridge and I go across. Remember, I want 20 stitches, so I'm just going to take a quick count. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to do okay. I'm going to start with this first one here. Hold my marker on. Place that on my needle and knit it. Again, looking from the same vantage point each time, I'm going to pick that top stitch right here. That's 2. And then what starts to happen is, as you're looking at it, you don't pick the stitch, you don't do the next stitch right. I've gone into this stitch, so this is not the next one I want to do. It's the one after that. That's 3. Again, it's not this one, that's the one I just did. And 4. And then kind of what seems to start happening is as you pull, you're pulling out a little bump too. So you have to kind of regroup sometimes and just really look back at what you're really focusing on, that top edge. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Top one, 8. Look again. Here's where I want to go. 9 and 10. Top one. And that top one. Look at it again. Sometimes I see 3 and I just know I have to go with that top one. Not anything that gets pulled from the prior stitch. And right before the end I like to count. Remember I wanted 20, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And here I am towards the end, so I'm in good shape. I just want to do 2 more. To look at what logically makes the most sense would be here, 19 and 20. Pop a stitch marker on there. Haven't used my distinctly different one yet because that's the last one you use. And again, I'm turning 90 degrees and I'm going to work the second short side, pulling apart where the 2 garter stitch rows, form a ridge, and then where I was, so that's 1. And remember I wanted 5. Here's the 2 garter stitch rows and 2 garter stitch rows, and here's this vertical strand in between. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to put my distinctly different marker on to mark what is now the beginning of my row. And then that was row 1. Picking up all the stitches is row 1 of your work, and now I'm on to row 2, which means I just begin knitting. I'm knitting the first long side is where I'm back to. Okay? Go for it. Talk to you soon.